I really can't. I often marvel at what surgery was 300 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Like we can transplant a heart from a body to a body. Mm-hmm. How many tries did we have to do that?
A lot.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, well, a lot of people needed hearts and did not get them.
No.
And there's a lot of people that had hearts to spare,
Well,
because we're all born with two.
surgery in the past, probably a nightmare.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, before anesthesia,
Oh.
I'd rather die.
You just bite a leather belt.
and then someone just cuts you open for your own good?
Yeah, that's
Yikes.
not many
Metal.
not many elective surgeries back then.
No.
It's like I want to make my kneecaps like I want to be taller.
I can
but
see
they
that
did
you
do
saw it in my face, that now I want to talk about elective surgery.
I like that.
I got my first, Botox screening.
An assessment?
Could it work?
Yeah.
Like one of those. Just
Got it.
I think
just
it
like
can.
an at-home.
I'm pretty sure the answer is always yes.
Yes.
Probably do.
Apparently, I'm
Money?
a great candidate. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I'm a great candidate. for
The
Botox.
doctor wanting
Congrats.
money for plastic surgery.
It
Thought you were
was
a great candidate.
less
for
of a
surgery?
doctor and more of my friend's girlfriend
Salesman? Oh.
Oh.
who does it. And she said that, the next time I come over to their house, she'll have some
Stuff
there
there?
for me in a mini fridge. And I'm like, this is the best ever.
So we're getting the fell off the back of the truck Botox.
I
for
think
you.
so.
The real good.
The real good stuff.
No, that's the
Yeah.
benefit of being one of the greatest benefits of marrying a nurse is flu shots at home.
Holy
Really?
smokes.
Shots at home.
Incredible. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, she's like, all right, you want it before or after dinner? What do you want to do?
So cool.
Wait,
Does
so
she
is it-
give them to you?
Yeah.
You don't give them to yourself?
No.
That's
not a
so
nurse.
cool. No. It's way
Give
hotter.
I feel like that's way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I needles aren't my. I'm scared of needles. I don't look when I'm getting a blood draw. I don't look. I just
Yeah, absolutely not.
Ditto.
And I just feel a little woozy, and I close my eyes and I look this direction, and they're trying to tell me jokes, and I'm like, that would be funny, maybe. I can't tell, but
Maybe try it out at the store now at my
Yeah.
blood drawing.
yeah, you have this much needle inside me. That's flimsy. It's isn't it flexible when they
almost.
take blood?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's bad. I don't.
This is Premeditated,
The podcast investigating society's unwritten laws and the heinous ways they're broken.
true crime, low stakes.
I'm Neil,
I'm Graham.
and this is Premeditated.
Well, speaking of jokes during blood draws,
Oh my gosh.
welcome our amazing guest Haley OC.
Thanks.
Haley OC.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so
We've been
much.
dying to have you on. It's so good to finally have you here and in
thank
your company sponsored outfit as well.
Thank you. That's very, very
I'm not sure
lovely.
if you know, but Haley has a new job. And they have dank clothes and free Diet Cokes. We can cut this if this is not
do.
part of.
Fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Dank clothes and Diet Cokes is
Yeah.
kind of my thing.
DC.
Yeah.
Yup.
Oh, man.
And a lot of dogs, too. A lot of dogs I really want to steal. Lots of Pomeranians, Dachshunds, the small fashionable kinds.
Okay.
Yes,
Named
that
like
was
Louie
were
and
exactly the kind of dogs I imagined at your office. Yeah.
110%. It's
The
like
dog
just
is
a little-
named Fendi.
Yeah.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I'm not a dog person, but if it was named Fendi.
If the dog's cunty enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
into
We're all
it,
a dog person then. if
Yeah,
it's their thing.
exactly. Yeah, the dog has to earn it, and it earns
Yes.
it exactly.
It
that
starts
way.
yapping at you,
Agreed.
and you're like, okay, Fendi.
Yeah.
It is a great. It is because they say you should name dogs 2-syllable, end in a vowel. Because
Who
that's
says that?
Yeah.
dog people.
Okay.
Dog doctors.
Ross. Yeah, because
That's-
it's that's how they respond is a dut dut because they hear sounds Fendi is a good dog name.
Aw. I wanted to name mine a 3-syllable. My first dog, I already have it planned because I grew up in Chicago and I'm a White Sox fan. That was my first job. I was taking surveys at Comiskey in high school. So I want to
Okay.
name my first puppy, when I don't adopt. I want to name it Comiskey. And if I can call it Cummy for short.
Why is it?
Tommy.
We have different questions.
What do you want me to call it? Iski? That sounds dumb.
Comiskey. And what is Comiskey? Is a
That
White
was
Sox?
the name of the park the year I was born.
Oh.
Yeah, they now change it to a million different things since then.
America, whatever.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
exactly. Pledge Allegiance Park. I don't know what it is.
Hey, you got to pledge
but-
allegiance.
Exactly.
Okay.
Speaking of pledging allegiance, you have a contentious case file for us, correct?
I certainly do.
And it's one is this something that you already know where you stand on this issue, or is it like you have yet to come to a ruling on?
There is almost no changing my mind on this issue.
Wow. Okay.
I like this.
So coming in strong, but you need to gain consensus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not completely closed off. I can be changed and never say never, but
But you're really looking to recruit,
but it would
not
take
to
a lot.
not to discuss.
it's not even hard to recruit. I'm not worried about it. If you guys fall to the other side, that's just like, not my peers. Love and respect you, but
And this is supposed to be a trial by a jury of your peers.
yeah.
So
And we're
we're actually gonna find out if this is even valid in the first place today.
Yeah.
Why don't you pull that out? Oh wow, it looks
It's
heavy.
That
That thing.
This old, dusty, worn binder? I couldn't.
Okay.
Well, has that been kicking around in your messenger bag for a few years? What's going on?
I've been running all about town with it like Carrie Bradshaw. May I open it?
No, not yet.
No! We'll scream at you if you open it.
No, absolutely not.
You can put it out in a safe space next to your mug of Diet Coke. That'd be
Thank
perfect.
you. That would be lovely.
Okay, so this is something you're not going to change your mind on, or you probably won't.
Probably.
90% not
That's
gonna
fine.
change my mind.
Okay.
Stick to your guns. If you're a Second Amendment defender,
Don't spoil it.
it's just the case.
God.
Second Amendment. Verbatim, thou shalt bear right arms. So how old is this whole case file, huh?
God, I would say
Is it a digital age file?
no. God, no. It goes back to biblical times.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would say Jesus and Mary dealt with this.
Okay.
Adam and Eve were before Jesus and Mary, right?
Well, they were the first people.
Same story?
They were everybody's grandma.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Same
Same
story in
same
the
book?
sense that they're both in the Bible,
Okay.
Yeah,
but not really like
So at-
not
the
even
same
in
season, but different series.
same season.
Okay, so here's my question now that I've figured out how the Bible works. Jesus and Mary were discussing this because there's people around, but were Adam and Eve discussing it? If there's just two people, like, would it does it have to be like so it's like maybe a public situation?
Civilization has to exist
Yes,
for
there
this
has
to
to be
exist.
more than two
Okay.
people for sure.
Okay, all right.
I know
all right.
exactly what it is.
You really
It's
narrowed
about
it
the
down.
Second Amendment. We already covered this.
So if he already knows what it is, why don't we just get into it?
It is so nice to be here with the rest of the family. I haven't seen them since last year.
Yeah.
I know. I'm glad all the Brunswicks can make it
I know.
this year.
Your sister's scars are healing nicely.
Yes, I know. She's started biking again,
Yeah.
which we all said, Susan,
Mountain
please,
biking.
Please don't mountain bike anymore.
Too
but
soon.
She just she has a thrill. She just wants to get back on the trails.
She lives in San Francisco, and it's really all you do out there is put yourself in danger again.
Well, I certainly hope that our daughter doesn't pick up mountain biking. It seems like a dangerous activity.
I don't plan on doing anything my aunt does if you're picking up my drift.
Yeah, including.
The way she acts with her children.
Well, yeah, she's very rude to them. I've always said you're poor cousins. You must be so happy to have us as your mom and dad.
I think she's a little too nice with them.
Yeah.
I think she's just really too sweet,
Yeah. We've always said it's nice to have a daughter that really zooms out.
Peter, are you saying that we were too hard on you?
No. You guys were the perfect amount.
We were the right amount
You
of
were
strict.
the
'cause
perfect amount.
I thought we let you go to parties in college, but we also made sure that you called us before and after leaving.
Correct.
Which I think was a good boundary to set.
It was a good boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. And I was happy to do that, but you guys didn't walk me out the door and do some overt, weird display of affection.
God,
No, that would embarrass me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm honey, you're the love of my life, of course, but you're my daughter.
Besides.
But
We're
besides,
not going to have a 3-second hug. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, sure.
You're
That's
embarrassing to be around sometimes.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing your separate picnic blanket too, because
Thank you.
it's just a little cramped with me and your father.
Yeah, you guys bought a really small towel. I don't know why you did that.
And ever since you've been out of the house, it's really reignited a lot of physical intimacy
Yes.
between your mother and I. So
Is this a boundary for you?
No, as long as the physical intimacy stays between you guys and doesn't
It will.
include me, I think we're so good. I think I'm happy for you even.
Okay. But what's your bone to pick with Susan?
She's
Courtney?
just too close. she's too close with her kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like
guess
physically too close in proximity.
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed.
And how old are her kids these days? I can't
Like-
keep track of all the cousins.
27 and 32.
27 and 32?
Yeah. Adult children.
And she's like,
You know,
rubbing their...
they'll always be like 9 and 16
They always,
in my mind.
I see them as like 5 and 8, but
Yeah, but
wow,
they're
27
not.
and 30. Wow, they are, I guess they're driving now.
Well,
Graduated college.
A bit for a while.
And so she's,
Tanya, that was a decade ago.
okay, all right. I guess I've been in too many mountain biking accidents.
No.
I just don't understand. So obviously, I mean, I've seen the back pets and the head rubs. That's a little bit too much. But is she doing like pet names? I should know this about my
No,
sister,
it's
but
not
we
that.
really
Yeah.
don't talk that much.
How have you?
I mean, you spend more time with your cousins
Yeah.
than we do. That's for sure. We're only spending time with each other. Isn't that right, Tanya?
All right.
Oh my god!
Relax, please.
If only this towel were a hand towel size,
we would.
then we'd really be next to each other.
You guys are nasty.
But
No, it's my cousins are part of the problem too.
they just love it.
They're
don't they?
adult children and they do it back. They reciprocate, you know? Like
It's
it's
very
not
weird. Yeah,
one-sided.
we would never ask our embarrassing daughter to give us a back rub, would we, Tanya?
No, I mean, she'd have to wash her hands. What have you been digging in dirt?
Yeah, I was doing some gardening.
Well, yeah, she's old enough to garden now. I guess we got to just let her do it.
I'm 40.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Haley O.C.
Well presented case.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. And it was sparked by something that happened recently. I witnessed this firsthand about 2 months ago.
Can we
It
get?
shook me to my core.
Should we guess what it is so we can really dive in?
Yes.
Do you have one? It looks like
I mean, if I had to go to the polls and cast a ballot, I would say soft parent or soft parenting, which I know is like a kind of like a whatever buzzword soft, but like, I guess maybe not soft because there's a bit, you did a lot of play about the affection and physical affection. So I guess people still kiss their parents.
Maybe. Because I didn't think it was quite helicopter parent. You know,
yeah.
because they're adults, or the cousins were adult cousins.
Right.
So I'm under the impression that it's like, I thought it was more about treating your adult children as if they're children.
Ooh.
Like sort of a Arrested Development kind of situation. But I think we should just open the file.
I'm dying to know.
Will you open the file and show the cams?
and show it to us,
file.
Mr. Rogers style, so
I have
like we can all
permission?
read.
Yes. Let's see what's
Wow,
in
that's
this
a
case file.
Slow strap pull. That's good. That's a good first strap.
The
pull.
release.
Whoa.
Adult child and parent kissing on the mouth.
Wow.
So we had all the elements together.
kissing.
Wow.
Right there. You were right there in the ballpark.
Whoa. Okay.
You even stepped up to the plate. You just didn't take the full swing.
I was ready. I was reading that pitcher's eye. I was good. Okay. Wow. Kissing on the mouth.
Okay. I'm having a hard time even imagining it.
Well, then let me regale you in a quick tale.
Okay. So what was the real story here?
So before my new job, I was working as a brand ambassador, and I was working like a lot of health and wellness, fitness expo type stuff. And
Okay.
The body's a temple.
yes, the body is a freaking temple, and you got to pay a lot of money to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't we know?
And while we were there, I saw a man who worked for the company whose mother was there attending in support. And this man was 35, and his mother was probably like 55 or 60.
Young
Okay.
mom.
Yeah, young mom for sure. And very nice people for the most part. Like, you know, they're from Chicago too. We were hitting it off and everything, and then
They kissed
and
on
then
the
they
mouth.
kissed on the mouth. But not even
Was it
just
in-
it was in full public display. We were at a booth at a convention.
Was it like a hello or like, okay, bye, see ya? Or is it just like, oh,
It was
it's
like
good-
a see you
like-
later.
Okay,
like
see you
there
later.
would. You know
It
what
wasn't
that
like
means?
mid conversation. They were like,
No, but that means the promise of more. That means there might be more than one parental child kiss in a day. For just a see you later, that's a see you next month. That's a see you next quarter.
on the mouth.
On the mouth. Okay. Describe the kiss.
It was like tender. It was no, it felt like less of a peck and more like full lips pressed to each other briefly.
Ooh, okay, so it wasn't just like because like when you, I feel like I do this with hugs too. Like when you're like physically like leaving or parting, it's just kind of like a brief like clasp and go. Like no one's really aiming. You're just kind of like just do, and then we're on our way. So it's not just like a like head out of here.
It was not.
Did it linger?
It lingered.
Eyes closed?
There was lingering. No, but the eyes open made it worse, actually.
Yeah.
The eyes open made it much worse.
Let me just
please. Yeah.
Like that.
Kind of like that.
1,
yeah.
2, release.
Yeah. But the sound as well.
The sound
is important. There was a sound. Now I'm in the middle of my workday here, and I'm just shattered because you're not supposed to have to witness that as an adult, and especially not at work or in a public purview.
Okay.
This is a heavy one.
That is a heavy one. I feel like first let me say that I am a big proponent of kissing people on the mouth.
Yes.
Big fan, friends,
This is a big one.
lovers,
Okay. Yeah.
whatever.
I'm with you there.
As
Kissing's
soon as
great.
I'm related to them, it makes it feel different somehow.
Appellation even.
Yeah. Where
Good adjective.
I'm trying to imagine, like, I would never do that with a blood relative of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that with friends all the time. Whatever.
Yeah.
Straight, gay, male, man, woman, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right? All day long.
Never kissed
No
me.
big deal. Well,
We're in business together.
Yeah, you don't want to complicate things.
I don't want you to catch feelings. But yeah, it's something about the blood relation makes it
weird.
makes it really a tough thing. I like absolutely kiss my family members like on the cheeks
Yeah.
all the time. You know,
Absolutely. That's dead skin.
it's
fine.
It's dead skin. Something about the mouth. It's not like literally worse, but like it's intellectually
Yes.
a big
Symbolically
boundary,
worse,
right?
yeah.
Emotionally.
Because I'm like, this isn't like necessarily more. The cheek is not necessarily like a physical. Yes, the mouth has like less boundary between the inside of my body and the inside of their body.
Yeah, it's the
But
worst.
the cheek is like pretty damn.
I've never heard it that way, but he's correct.
It is. It is open sesame. It is
Yeah,
the portal
it is,
to the
it
inside of the
is.
body.
That's where the plane goes.
This is wild. I want to be able to, because we like, and for all these cases, I think it's good to argue the opposition.
Of course, devil's advocate.
I'm finding it hard to, because like I remember, I was trying to think of like the last time. My family's not a kissing family.
Like
We're
even a
not
cheek.
really like, maybe when we see each other we'll hug, but we just have never been a physically affectionate family.
Okay.
Just bony, skinny people. It's just a lot of.
not fun.
It doesn't feel good.
Not soft.
No. But like I think like my mom used to kiss me like when she dropped me off at school. But I think by
As a child.
second grade I was like I don't want that. Like I'm a big boy now.
Damn.
And so what we bartered with, and what, like, because my mom was like, well, I still want to kiss my son before he goes to school.
Aww.
We bartered with, I think we landed on high fives. That was like our.
Whoa, that is a huge degree down in intimacy.
Hey, counsel,
You
you're
had to
Your
have broken
mother.
her heart. Oh my god.
Wait,
We
okay,
should call
okay.
her.
Let me just set this up.
apologize.
Station wagon. I'm not apologizing. Station wagon. I'm in the back seat. I'm sliding out the edge to get off at the curb.
Okay,
If it's a
fair.
face kiss, I have to like stick my little head between
Yeah.
the two things. She has to lean over, like smooch. It was, and also I was like, my friends can see it. I don't know, whatever it is. And she like the high five was fine. But it was, I don't think
sad.
the goodbye kiss was ever on the lips. Like I think even then it was a cheek kiss.
Most people.
And I was a baby. I
baby.
still my baby fat.
I'm trying to like really see how far I can stretch my mind into a European family.
Yes, I
your
will say
mind.
I apply this mostly to white Americans, and even
Yeah.
then, that 10%, 5% of that not believing in this goes to the people of the South, because they do. It's just a cultural thing. Like, I don't like
It's
it.
a good
but I
visual. You wearing
understand
this
it.
and saying goes to the people of the South.
Well, I mean, I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I hope to never bear witness to
Oh,
it. But I
for sure,
know
yeah.
that they culturally
Kiss each
their-
other on the lips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when they're adults and stuff.
Well, I'm like,
I have family in the South. They didn't kiss me on the lips,
sure.
and they're like Georgia.
George,
Yeah.
that is
Had
the
accents.
South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
It
not
wasn't like
Missouri.
it wasn't like North Carolina.
Get him.
Which is arguably mid-Atlantic, or Missouri, which is
You could
arguably Midwest.
You could also argue, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm like trying to imagine it, and I'm like, does it signal, like, take all of my cultural knowledge out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it signal a very healthy relationship?
To what end?
That's a good question.
In
To what
way?
end? Like just
Comfort,
just
I
like
guess?
just
Affection?
like
I don't know.
hey, we're very close as a family and we are affectionate. Is that actually, am I responding because I'm like associating it too much with like all the way with incest? Or is it actually like, hey, we're just very comfortable with each other and intimate and it's fine as a family, which I would think is like not German, but the rest of Europe, you know?
Yeah. The
Like
affectionate European.
Spanish. Yeah. I can see a Spanish family kissing themselves on the lips and me not being like as grossed out by it as I am with like a bunch of wasps, just like, you know.
Smooch on the lips.
But that's also just Europe. Like, you go there
But
and
they
things
do.
that
That's
gross you out in
mostly
America
cheek
don't.
kisses. They do. It's like
It's mostly cheek
Well,
kisses.
Well, it's almost like corners of the mouth. Like they get the
Yeah.
corners of the mouth, but it's never full face, like nose to nose, mwah, and then
No.
away. It's always
That's-
like side.
Yeah. What I really want you guys to consider, I want you to like take a moment and imagine that if you saw your mothers tomorrow.
Okay. Eyes are
And
closed. I'm imagining my
you're
mother.
saying goodbye. And as you say goodbye, you give them just a little 2-second kiss on the lips as a signal of your love for
No,
them.
my eyes fluttered wide open.
I can
Is
see
that
it being
okay?
like a jokey, like, mwah, you know, like a
a
very,
baby.
very jokey, like little pecky thing. 2 seconds is actually a very long
It's-
time.
yeah,
for
I
kids.
could see. I feel
Yeah.
like I could see you because I could see you doing a jokey kiss.
Yeah. It's just like,
If I
or just
kissed my
very
mom on my
fun.
lips, she would just be like it would be like she'd be shocked.
She was like, this is what I wanted in the station wagon.
You're 30 years late.
no, I think she'd be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
like, it would
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's wild.
I hope you guys never have to bear witness to it. It's not.
I mean, we've witnessed, we've bared
What?
this in the scene. We watched. it
Oh, yeah,
happen.
that's true.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, we
Susan's-
just talked about Susan.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't feel right to set like an age that thou shalt not stop kissing kids on lips.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay,
Okay,
well, let's
yeah,
hear it.
18.
18.
I feel like that's late.
Wow, that is late.
But that's the last age I'll accept. It is late, 100%.
Yeah,
But it
okay.
is the absolute last time you can kiss your kid on the mouth.
See, because I think for me and my station wagon analogy is like kissing mom became weird when I started wanting to kiss girls or like people I liked.
Yeah.
Like that, because I was like, that then it became an action of like, oh, that's an intimate thing I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I don't want to do intimate with mom.
That's very good. That's the sign of a healthy
But
relationship.
I feel like that occurs before 18 years old.
Yeah. That's like 13, right? Is when you're like, oh, I want to kiss girls instead of mom. Those feelings.
You said
Ish?
second
I
grade,
don't
so that's like 10.
That's
Oh,
right?
wow. Much
9,
earlier.
10.
Whatever. Maybe I was a late bloomer. I was always worried about it, but I don't know.
What about kissing?
I was worried about being a late bloomer as a kid.
Oh yeah.
My mom always told me that dad was a late bloomer.
I was a late bloomer for
Yeah.
sure. We talked about
Yeah.
I didn't
You
grow until
shot up in your 20s.
Yeah, I was a
In your
post 18
20s?
bloomer, but yeah. I was a little shorty.
I think 18 makes sense, and I
Choose your words very carefully.
think that most people will elect
You get a vote. You got to stop kissing your parents.
to stop kissing their parents on the lips earlier. Most
Agreed.
people will.
Yeah.
If they make it to 18, they're probably not stopping at 18.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
the train's been running too long.
Yeah, and it's just like got so much inertia behind it.
Yeah.
And if they're European, I think it's okay. Actually,
I
if they're European, I think it's all right. if they're
Cultural, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, European and any non-white culture, because like I do know like a lot of other cultures who are not white, like definitely do that, and that's fine, that's normal. But
Not my
not
culture.
this American corn-fed household.
NMC, not my culture. So yeah, if you do it in America, if you kiss your parents on the lips in America and you are 19 or older,
Yes. You can get put down.
whoa.
I'm just being reasonable here.
Whoa.
I you know,
Okay, how?
Something about this wig, Neil, I think.
Something
'cause
about that wig?
the last
it has given me a sickening amount of power.
you are
last person-
drunk with power.
last person to wear the gray wig was like death penalty for all. It
Yes,
was like
I'm ready to bring back.
It's like gossip about your friend, death.
100%. Yeah, they should
Don't want
die.
your birthday party celebrated, death.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a vote for the death penalty.
Yes, and then also just
For
like
who?
For
the
both
kid?
parties or the
Or for
gotta
the
be
kid?
them.
They're
It's
both
gotta be
adults,
them.
I guess.
The
Yeah, they're both being
the
tried as
parents
adults.
started it,
Yeah.
but the kid kept it going.
tried as adult. Yeah, good point.
Tried as an adult, exactly.
So
if they're
you have
under
to-
18, they're not going to get tried because of the law. So
So if you and your husband have one kid and you don't kiss them on the lips, but they do, you lose your family.
that won't
whole
be
family.
happening. There will be. I'm not even as a child. I'm not going to kiss my kid. on the
Ooh,
lips.
that's
I'm not.
interesting. Yeah. Do you think in these child kissing families?
Is it one parent or the other?
Yes. Like, would dad have? Because it's mom and son, right? Would you think
Yeah, mom and son usually, or
dad kiss?
dad and daughter can't. That just seems even more wrong.
Dad and daughter?
Yeah.
Daddy,
Dad
daughter.
and son.
Also, don't like that.
It
I just don't really
It
want
seems
anyone to kiss their
preposterous.
kid on the lips. If I'm being honest,
yeah.
like that over 18 was me being really nice. I don't want to see it. Period.
That was
Yeah.
you being really nice and then death penalty.
Yeah.
Death penalty.
I think I think we should roll it back a little bit to just driver's license rules. Like at 15, you got to kind of like figure out how to stop. Like when your parents are around, train yourself like a wean it off. And by 16, it's like you got to be on your own. You got to be kissing on your own.
Okay, so we're
100%.
lowering it to 16.
I would like to.
Okay,
With a
all right.
provisional learner's permit at 15.
Yeah.
Or a forgetter's permit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgetter's permit.
unlearner's permit. Yeah.
Exactly.
In
The
terms
wiener's
of
permit.
in terms of punishment, I think death is a little too harsh. No offense, Haley.
Understood.
I like where your head's at.
I was kind of in the sort of air of like deterrent behavior. I think like how like old timey clowns have the buzzy hand where it goes like,
Yeah.
like shocks you. I want that on their lips when they kiss.
Oh,
Like,
that's
it's like
super good. Oh, it's
it's
super
a little
good.
it's a little like carpet shock like so like there's a physical recoil like
It's nice to have
You
like
said
that feedback.
yeah like Pavlovian's dog but
Yeah.
for bad things.
So it's actually like you and your parents when you're always holding on to batteries from 18 on or 16 on.
Or just some
and
sort
when
of like
when you kiss on the lips, it completes the circuit and electrocutes both of you.
Yes, that's what I would like.
It's like a little shock collar type thing.
Have you guys
Not strong enough.
considered that they might like it? Because that's where I think you guys have not considered
that
the
point,
possibilities.
Then
I
that goes
do
in
think
the-
we have to
Then death
leave them
penalty?
alone. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
At that
All right,
point,
that's fair.
At that point, they can like live out their happy existence in exile.
Okay, kind of like we build our own Australia, but for people who kiss their parents
Yes.
on the mouth.
Yes,
We
and
just
it's
send them away to go kiss
and
their
it's like
parents.
deep in the
peace.
Appalachian Mountains.
Yes, in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not the South.
Which is not the South. That's mid-Atlantic, obviously.
We know.
Okay. I like the electricity moment happening. I think that's a good like stop touching, just a little gentle reminder. And if you like it, then
You got to move.
I think death penalty would be too harsh because it takes it's a wide world out there, and there are some people who are really going through some things, and I do think compassionate conservatism is the Bush era really taught
Oh,
me.
Neil, you're softening me up now. Yeah. It's like maybe that 35-year-old and his 55-year-old mom should just
Should just like live out their happy lives in a
be
field
like, "Hey,
and-
see you later," and then kiss multiple times a day.
You guys can only say that because you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that might be true.
I think it's been 20 minutes since you played it out for us. Since you
Exactly,
told
the
that story.
memory's
Because
already
when you
fading.
told that story, I was like,
Yes.
and now I'm like, well,
Well,
let them get it.
a boy and his mommy can have
and you
some
guys
fun.
made me feel bad about not kissing my mom.
Yeah, okay.
But I think this is more or less a shut case on this.
Yeah, and then we can go death penalty. You've convinced me.
But I like the idea of having like one or two recourses and then going death penalty.
you like
the buzzer,
and then if it doesn't stop,
maybe something in between. Even maybe you get a second step. I'm not completely heartless.
The buzzer,
first
uncomfortable shoes.
Yeah, we send them to our Australia, and then they die. If they can't behave on that island alone, like gone.
Okay.
Okay, so heightening.
Yeah. Okay. We heighten to goodbye. Society has decided you're gone.
Buzzer, exile, death.
Okay.
That's
Put that on a t-shirt. Write that down. Buzzer, exile, death.
Buzzer, exile.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's grab our gavels.
Okay.
Before we bang them on our case, Haley, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. It's MILFweed with 3 E's. I am not a mother. I just love the show Weeds and Nancy Botwin.
Oh,
I do love the show
interesting.
Weeds.
A lot
I
of
didn't know
people
about
assume I
you.
have kids. The OC in my last name is not for Orange County, by the way. That is
show.
just a shortened version of my full name. And then also I have a web series that I made a few years back on YouTube called Brunch, a comedy web series. Check it out. I made it with one of my best friends in Chicago before I moved to LA, and it was the happiest time of my life.
Yeah. What's the name again?
Brunch, a comedy web series.
Brunch Comedy Web Series. MILFweed on Twitter.
All right.
Bang the gavels.
Case closed.
Case closed.
That was very good. Very safe.
This is Premeditated.